You are not afraid of the dark. You are afraid of what's inside it. You are not afraid of heights. You are afraid of falling. So with this in mind, let's be clear that you are not afraid of trading, but you may be fearful of losing money. In this section, we're going to take a look at some effective ways to conquer any fears or doubts that you may have around trading. Now, trading is an incredible money-making venture if you do it right. If you have any fears or doubts standing in your way, this will prevent you from becoming the trader that you want to be. So, let's jump straight in. If we want to become a successful trader, we cannot avoid trading. But what some people do to try to conquer their fears is to try to avoid the feeling altogether by simply blocking it out. Some may use coping mechanisms which enable them to block out their feelings. But this is not the answer. You should not try to block out any negative emotions such as fear, as it will always be sitting there in the subconscious mind, without you even being aware of it. And it may present itself in other various forms. The only way to deal with fear is to face it head on. And this means looking fear straight in the eyes and with full acceptance that yes, your trades may lose. But that, as we fully accept now, is purely the nature of trading. What you resist persists. Now this simply means that if you were to resist or try to block out these negative emotions of fear, they will always be there in the background, ready to rear their ugly heads. We are now going to do an exercise where we will rationalise any fears we may have around trading and put them into perspective to ultimately transform our thinking around them. Now it involves asking you a series of important questions in which I would like you to answer honestly. And believe me, if you really are honest in answering these questions, then you will be well on the way to transforming your mindset into that of a winning trader. I would highly recommend writing down your answers so that you can reflect back on this exercise at a later date. So what is your fear, doubt, or concern? Now it's a good idea to write this down and be very specific about this. Is it losing money? Is it losing your next trade? Or is it making a huge mistake with a trade? Now really have a think about this and be as specific as possible. What evidence do you have to support your fear, doubt, or your concern? Yes, you may have seen other people fail at trading and lose money, but what about all of the successful traders out there? And we established earlier in the course that there is no secret formula that successful traders possess except their mindset and their approach to trading. So I would urge you to take a few minutes to really have a think about this and write down your answer. Now, would you say that you are fearful of the process or the result of trading? Now, if it is the actual process of trading, then this may well be indicative that you do not have confidence in your strategy or your ability to competently implement it. Now, if it is the process that you fear, then maybe you should accept that more work is needed on your actual strategy so that you no longer have this fear. So following on from the previous question, do you feel confident in your strategy and your trading ability? Now, if not, then you need to find a new strategy, as we established right at the start that this is the first essential element to becoming a successful trader. Now, do you feel confident in executing your strategy? If not, then you 100% must go back to using a demo account until you feel 100% confident in your strategy. Maybe have a think about attending a training course or reading some books, buying a course online or something like that to ensure that you increase this confidence in your strategy and your ability to implement it. If you do not have confidence in your strategy or your ability to execute it, then you can never overcome this fear that you are feeling. So on a similar point to the previous question to do with your confidence, would you say that you could increase your knowledge and understanding of the market or your strategy in order to increase your confidence? Do you think this would make you feel more confident in your trading activities? Maybe set yourself some objectives of things you can do on a daily basis to work on this. So maybe just spend 10 minutes per day learning about a new element of the markets. Let's say, for example, learning in depth about candlesticks or learning more about a certain indicator. Knowledge is power, and by increasing our knowledge, we can increase our confidence and subsequently eradicate fear. Are you putting too much pressure on yourself? Maybe you're trading with too much money at risk. Are your expectations unrealistic? Now, when you start trading, you should only ever trade with a trading bank that, if you were to lose the lot, it would not affect your standard of living. Now, very often, a trader will fear losing money because he or she is trading above their means. Now, this is akin to gambling, especially in the early stages of a trader's career. You should be 100% confident in your strategy and your ability to trade before increasing your bank size significantly. By putting too much pressure on yourself is a surefire way to create fear and anxiety. So please do have a think about this. Are you worried about making a mistake? Now, of course, mistakes happen when you start out trading, and mistakes can sometimes happen with experienced traders. We all make mistakes. Now, if you often make mistakes, then this may be an indication that you are either not concentrating properly or focusing properly on your trading, or it may signal that you are not 100% competent with your strategy. Now, we should accept that occasionally mistakes do happen, but we should learn to simply accept this, take measures to ensure it does not happen again, and move on confidently with your next trade. So what is the very worst that could happen if your fears came true? Now, as I said earlier in the section, if you are putting too much pressure on yourself by trading with too high a bank, then this will increase your fear around trading. The worst that can happen should simply be that you lose your trading capital, which will have no adverse short or long-term effects on your standard of living. So you should now be feeling much more rational about your fears around trading, as we have begun the process of putting these fears into perspective. Please join me in the next video where I will provide you with the next building block to eradicating fear in trading.